And then now that everybody here is like, Kamiko, if you don't say, if you don't say what I want you to say, I am going to leave immediately. Let us talk about one thing that we may not be able to control, which is systemic violence and poverty in our system of voting. Now, when I say systemic violence and poverty, what I mean is that some people during elections are not making the election safe. Systemic violence and poverty, we all know when it is time for elections, we start seeing some people they are carrying and I'm like, people, why? Like, why do we have to be doing this? But that is something that really hinders our election. And for me, I would say that is one of the biggest problems that we have in Nigerian elections. And I know some people are like poverty, like how does poverty have to connect with violence? Sorry. Yes, okay. So the reason why I connected violence and poverty together, especially in a systemic manner, is that poverty and insecurity, if you think about it very well, they lead to one another. So let us take, for example, a community. There is no light, there is no, like, the average very vulnerable or impoverished community. Now, in a community like that, the youth, they are jobless, they don't have anything to do, everybody is struggling. Then it's now time for elections. We know how cunning these politicians are. They come, they manipulate those people, they promise them whatever they are promising them, they give them small money, they give, whether it's big money or small money, they shall give them something that is not worth dying for, and then they give that to them, and then they arm them with guns to go and do whatever they want them to do, to kill opposition members, to cause trouble, to, should I say, some people, they even ask them to bully people from the other party, to carry ballot votes, to go and read. They do so much just because of these politicians. And then when they do that and those politicians eventually get into power, then the politicians forget about them. Some people, maybe the politicians not forget, some people do remember them, they just be giving them small money. But most of the time, those politicians, if those people don't blackmail them, to remember them, they forget about those people. But those people, they still have those guns that they gave them the first time. It's not like they are checking in and checking out the guns. Like, it is not a library or something. Once they give them the guns, they've given them the guns because they feel that it is important to use the guns. And so those people did not have those guns, and then they don't have food because the politicians that they voted for, they're not creating small businesses alone. They're not creating youth empowerment, programs. They're not doing anything because those people are corrupt in nature. But they only got there because of the help of these people that decided to, manipulate the election for them. And so you have poor people who have manipulated to fight for corrupt officials. Those corrupt officials get into power, and then there is more poverty because those politicians are not fulfilling any of their promises. And so you find out that insecurity provides poverty. But it's also because those people were poor in the first place that they were able to be manipulated to be part of the insecurity that we have during elections. And so one thing that I would say that is very good in solving this, should I say, cycle of insecurity and poverty that we have is that people need to start establishing, I know that it's not easy, especially in Nigeria, to find work. But if you're a graduate, and if you think about it, somebody that is a graduate, somebody that has a moderate lifestyle, somebody that is comfortable per se, will not go and risk their life unnecessarily just because somebody asks them to come and be carrying on. It doesn't make sense. If I'm a graduate, I'm working, I may not be the richest person, but I'm not the poorest person either. It will be hard for you to convince me to come and be following people with a gun. I would just say no. So if everybody had that type of lifestyle, then it would not be easy for you to have people to manipulate. I'm not saying that some people will not be left out. Some people, of course, naturally, you have the greedy people, that you have the people that they just want to have power, but the amount of people that you have will reduce. You see all those young children, 14, 15-year-olds, what are they doing with ammunition? If they were in school, if they were learning a trade, if they were, maybe starting their own business, learning a craft, they would not have time to get into such communities. And so I feel development in those communities is how we can achieve that. And I know some people are like, okay, plan. Like, if people are just blocking, plan. If you are in an NGO, if you want to start an NGO, if you've not started an NGO, if you're looking for something to do, that's one thing you can start. Start teaching people how to learn a craft. Start a video series. If you know something that you think is helpful to others, teach other people. If you know bead making, teach somebody else, because you don't know if that person you are teaching may be the person that in 3 years time they will ask them to come and carry gun, but because they now know how to sustain themselves, they say no. You understand? So that's what I'm trying to pass across to everybody. Of course, you can't help everybody, but I feel like if more people were empowered, you don't have to wait for government. I know some people they're like, how are you going to empower people when the government is doing so and so? We need to start looking inwards in our Nigerian society. We can't expect the government to do everything for us, even though the government has a lot of responsibilities. Nigerian governments, they have not even, instead of them to take on more responsibility, want to share the responsibility more. So we as the people, if we are looking for progress, we need to understand that okay, our own country is different because of hashtag the people that we have upstairs. But that doesn't mean that we should let somebody else's action control our own actions. We should be able to do stuff on our own just because we want to see our society better. If you truly want Nigeria to be a better place, you can't wait for somebody else to do it for you. Just like they say, if you want something done very good, if you want something done, then you do it yourself. So that's one way to start. NGOs, even organizations that even oil companies. If you can't employ them, look for graduates. Stop employing people based on the letter that is coming from above. Take people off the streets, employ people so that they are not manipulated during elections. And so that's the first part of this video. That's because it's a very long video. I have 3 other points that are pretty interesting. So you guys should wait for the next video. It will come out very soon. But I hope you're all learning something, or you learned something, or you're at least inspired, and you go out, you have a nice day. Remember to click that like button, comment, subscribe, share if you want to. It might help somebody, just to have a discussion, just to pick people up. Election is not till like 2.5 years or 2.75 years, but like you can start working on how we want our election to be better now. Nigerian youths, great. So thank you all for watching. See you in the next one. Wait, and hard days to say it. Watch out for the next episode, the part 2 of this video. Bye.